What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another live stream. So, a lot of targets ask in their videos and like why they don't target criminals. We finna get into that. We're finna get into that. And once again, I'm gonna be reading off my post or the stuff that I post. But we're gonna get it. We're gonna get exactly into why they don't target criminals. This is why they don't target criminals. It's gonna be another long live stream. Very interesting topic, very talked about topic that people they don't people just can't get the answer to this question. But I say in every one of my live streams, I say you must apply logistics to every part of life. You must apply logic to every part of life to understand this stuff, especially when it comes to something that that you just start to realize at a certain time. I started realizing gang stalking in 2018. So you just have to understand this type of stuff. But we're about to get into it. Okay, so why criminals, and this is from my post, I read it from my post, and I would like to start this with, once again, I will take a lie test. I will take a lie test, and I do not know any of you, any targets that's on here posting. I don't know you personally. I'm not watching you in your home or your phone camera. I'm not a perp. Lie tests are $400 and up. And I'm not a part of any secret organization. No one is telling me to get on here and do this stuff. And I would like to say that every live stream, just so my viewers are comfortable. I want you to be comfortable when you listening to my stuff. I want this to be, something that you're not questioning the person. Like, is this person here to mess with me? Like, is somebody not questioning? You're not questioning your mental. So, um, if you think I'm targeting you, it would be a mental. That would be a mental thing. That would be a mental thing versus you probably actually being targeted by a content creator or some content creators. That would be a mental thing. That would be something very mental. So we're gonna start with this. Why criminals don't go through gang stalking? Criminals don't go through gang stalking because they live a life of crime. The system takes a seat because a criminal will either be killed through their activities or eventually jailed through their activities. The system gang stalks us targets because we don't do anything. Also, criminals are always around people. That makes them not able to even notice. Plus, criminals would not like to believe the surveillance that is done. That belief would stop them from doing the crimes that they do. And in Judge Joe Brown's words in a podcast interview, the system don't work unless you do what you do. That's another live stream for another day. Oh, well, that's today. But I'm reading from my post. But yeah, that's basically it. That's basically it. That's basically it. Another post that I have before I start just freestyling and going in on a specific topic. Criminals aren't gang stalks because they're headed exactly where they want us. It's their natural road, dead or imprisoned. That's what the law enforcement signs up for. You think they want to be law enforcement and not arrest, draw chalk? You know, they live for this stuff. Like they love this stuff. They love doing that stuff. They love doing it. But once again, criminals don't go through gang stalking because criminals live. They do crime. Like they wake up in a trap house. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not looking into this type of stuff. They're not thinking of this type of stuff. They live a life of crime. So they don't get gang stalked. They don't get gang stalked. They don't get gang stalked because of that. And I would love for people to join the live or drop comments so I can keep going. But I'm gonna keep going anyway. but the system takes a seat because a criminal would either be killed through their activities or eventually jailed through their activities. So that's why you wonder, like, man, why they always doing this stuff to me? Why they always bothering me? They ain't doing it to a criminal. There's some gang members out there. They ain't doing that. They ain't doing that. Like, that's why we sit there and we just like, wow. I really never had the question. I always kind of came to that logistical conclusion of why they don't target criminals. For one, the criminal wouldn't even notice it. He wouldn't even notice it. They're not going to notice that at all, actually, because their surroundings, their surroundings. So that's why they don't target criminals. They target you because you haven't and don't do anything. That's why they target us. That's why they target us. That's exactly why they target us. So you have to understand these type of things. That's just because that question goes. It's in so many videos of targeted individuals, so many live streams. It's like, man, why they don't target serial killers or stuff like that? They never do that stuff to them. They'll never do that stuff to gang members. They'll never do that stuff to killers, or they never do it because that's what they do. They live a life of crime. That's what they do. And they love that stuff. Like, they love it. They live for that. Like, they live for that. And when they see us not complying, they see us isolated. They see us, isolating, not only isolating ourselves from people, but isolating ourselves from activities, places, clubs. Clubs get shot up. Um, parties get shot up. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense. They live for that type of stuff, bro. Like, this is the logic is taken from all of us. They take logic from all citizens. The only thing, everybody researching everything. Let me explain this like this, right? Everybody's researching everything. We researching we researching different subjects, science, math. We researching everything. No one is researching what law enforcement does. I even used to watch crime like shows and stuff like that. No one is researching what law enforcement does, and they do that on purpose. The only people that's researching what law enforcement does is kind of like targeting individuals. I wouldn't say them the only people that's doing that, but the only people that's kind of researching that is targeted individuals and putting it online. But it's a reason there's not a law enforcement class in school. Whether you're in elementary, middle, high school, there's not a law enforcement class in there. Why is there not a law enforcement class teaching these the ways that, and you could say, the teaching the technologies that they have, and you can say that it's because people are trying to do it better, but no, the class would be about, this is why you shouldn't do anything at all. That's what the class would be about. Why isn't that there in school? Why isn't it? Because they're treating that system as a slavery system. They want you to think they're dumb. Every movie you see a cop in a donut while eating a donut while a crime going in front of them. And everybody think they're just dumb people. Because most of them just doing their job like regularly. Everybody thinks they're dumb people when they're not. And they live to arrest people. They live for it. Like, that's what they live for it. And it ain't like they necessarily doing a good thing sometimes. Like, they just want to see them fuck off the street. But, like, yeah, that's why citizens, you know, they'll target a person that's like us. Isolation to get you targeted. Let me ask people in my comments this. Were you isolating before you're targeted? Zone 00. Were you isolating before you're targeting? Because isolation from crowds and people, that'll naturally get you targeted. Like they read you, they know if you like. Cause even in 2018, I used to like even when I used to be around my friends in 2018, like I wouldn't say use them, but if I didn't have any weed or something, like hey, I'm going to go pick them up. Like they might have some weed or something like that, or they might have like a like a girl that got a friend or something like that, and we can go over their house or something like that and get it going. Like I would use them for that type of stuff. Like that's what I would use them for. Not I wouldn't say use them, but it would be that, and that's it. Like I don't want to smoke with them or nothing like that for real. But they read that type of stuff. They know that you don't go to parties. Like I can literally name every party that I probably done been to in my life, and that's excluding things like birthday parties. We talking about parties that's like teen parties, a party that's like the club or something like that. I can name those. I can name the times that I've been to clubs. And they see that type of stuff. Like they peep that. The system peep that. Like the people that controlling the law enforcement, they peep that. They like this person life's too good. Like we can't control. He know to look out for danger. He knows to look out for danger. Stuff like that. We can control when this person basically, I don't want to say that, but we can't control what we if we wanted to do something to this person, we couldn't. This person stay in the house. This person don't do anything. He stay in the house. That'll get you targeted. And like I said, most of y'all look like something. Like y'all look like y'all get girls or something like that. You look like that. Like y'all look like that. Most of y'all is something. Like I said, I see radio hosts when I see targets. I see artists. I see actor. I see all of that stuff. I see all of that stuff. So it's crazy how they do that type of stuff. But yeah, like that's why criminals do not get targeted. They're living a life of crime. You got to think. They're waking up. They're waking up in the trap house, doing the same thing every day, not listening to no type of stuff we listening to. Um, None of that. They're not listening to no knowledge. They're not listening to nothing. They're just getting up every day, going outside and doing what they do. Like they live a life of crime. Like they're in the streets every day. Like they have no choice but to eventually get arrested. That's why they rap sheet be so long. Like they have no choice but to get arrested. They don't have a choice. They live a life of crime. They're not researching the things we research. They're not, and once again, they're not isolating like we isolate. And isolate, isolate. That means if you was hanging around people before, like you should see why you should isolate. Isolate. You don't talk to people. Don't activities. Don't none of that. And I wanted to make this live about relocation, but this is what this live gonna be about. It's gonna be about why they don't target criminals. But I want y'all to drop questions about that in the comment section. Like why they don't target criminals? Why don't they target criminals? You know? It was like, do they target them and they just don't notice? The criminals just don't notice? Nah, I don't think that. I just asked myself a question to go on. Do they target criminals and criminals just don't notice? I would doubt that too. I would doubt that too. I would doubt that they target criminals and the criminals just don't notice. Because once again, like they're being targeted. Like they're not being targeted. They're around people, and they're actually violent. So people might not do anything to them. They might not do anything to them. Or actually, they might think that. the perps might think that they'll get hurt or something because they don't understand what's going on. But I believe that criminals just cannot be targeted. Like, they can't be targeted because they're already headed where they want us. They're trying to drive us to incarceration. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to drive us into incarceration. They're trying to drive us into death. Walking outside thinking everybody involved in your targeting, and they not. They trying to drive us into that. Thinking everybody listening to you in your house when it's only 3 letter agencies listening to you in your house. Whether it's the two people that's within 10 miles of your house that's part of a 3 letter agency. And like I said, we forget about all the retired law enforcement that's out here that know about that technology. Them the ones that's listening, hacking. It ain't no citizen. It ain't no citizen. And I'm gonna go a little bit off topic. Like in 2020, my algorithm was hacked to show me they literally trying to get rid of you through psychological warfare. They know they can't touch you. You don't bother anyone. You don't have any enemies. They know they can't touch you. They know they can't. You don't have any enemies. So in 2020, my algorithm, I believe, was hacked. Like, they were showing me things like one video I seen an artist post. God is my witness. Lying is mental illness. I seen an artist post. Um, he posted a person scrolling down their Instagram, and he was recording the stuff that they were, they were just. He was kind of showing the mental illness that Target kind of go through, but he wasn't talking about targeting. And the artist posted it, and the dude was just scrolling on Instagram. I guess he was looking at girls and different things, and he was commenting on everything that he was scrolling down. He was just, but they were mirroring his screen, and he was commenting on everything he was scrolling down. I guess he like some type of. I don't think he's a comedian. I don't know him. But like they were mirroring his screen, and like he was scrolling and just saying funny things about everything that he's seen. And the caption was laughter. Like, the caption was laughter. Like, it was laughter. The caption was laughter. Like the caption was laughter. Like, it was laughing at his screen being mirrored. But like I said, those people are 3 letter agencies. They're informers. A lot of musicians, informants. They work for the system. So yeah, yeah, real creep. Yeah, real creep stuff. Real creep stuff. But the most weird, what I was about to say before that is, listen to this. Now, this is not. I'm not trying to paranoid y'all. We already know who the surveillors are, right? And they can mess with you in any type of way on the road. But what I was going to say before that, but the surveillors are only through the agencies. But what I was going to say before that is, they had a um a video of a dude in the car. He had dreads. It was a dude in the car. They had a video of, I think they were recording him in the car. I think it was like a girlfriend prank or something like that. But they were recording him in the car, but they also had cameras that can see the road. Like, they were trying. I think it was hacked on my algorithm, but they were trying to paranoid. They was trying to paranoid the life out of me. But that's psychological warfare. In that time, I was thinking that, oh my gosh, that's citizen stuff. Like, citizens are viewing this. Like, citizens are they'll see that citizens are seeing your reactions to what you see on the road, and they can see what you see on the road. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's psychological warfare. Like, they're literally trying to get you out of here through psychological warfare, straight up. And this stuff was on my Instagram. God is my witness. Lying is a mental illness. This stuff I didn't record. Even if I did record it, it was 2020. I had a different phone. But I don't tell lies. But that's just an example of psychological warfare. Like, that stuff is sad. But at that time, but don't think like that, because this is only 3 letter agencies doing that with that type of surveillance. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Yeah, they don't target criminals. Real creep stuff, bro. Real creep stuff. Really, really creep stuff, bro. They don't target criminals, bro. They don't. They target people that ain't doing nothing. You ain't outside trying to get smoked. You ain't outside trying to get smoked. You ain't hanging around to where you could be an innocent bystander to get smoked. You ain't you ain't doing anything to get arrested. Yeah, they gonna target you. And you doing it on purpose too? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like they gonna target you. Like that's just what that is. You know, and some people might be like that and not even notice they targeted for a long time. Like they might be like that and not notice that they're targeted for a long time. But you know, I always self-preferred isolation. You gotta understand, isolation is elevation. Like you gotta fall back from what society is doing. You gotta fall back from what society is doing in order to. Because if you in society, you trying to buy Balmain, Louis shoes. You know, you trying to buy Jordans every time they come out. All of that, like you trying to do what society is doing. You know what I'm saying? You trying to do what society is doing. So you got to get out of that mindset. That's one mindset that you got to get out of fully. I'm pretty sure y'all are. Like, dude, I only got a pair of slippers. I got a pair of I got two pairs of slippers and a $20 pair of Walmart shoes, and I'm cool with it. Now my jewelry, you know, like it's high quality, but I don't I don't wear any more of that stuff. I mean, I might dibble and dabble into it when I can, but I can't right now. I can't do that right now. I've been going broke. Um, you know, they have to wait till the next month and you know get my check. I go broke and be sleeping out, you know, sleeping outside, sleeping in my car, or you know, stuff like that. So I can't do that stuff right now until I can. But they definitely do financial deprivation. And Zone 00, you said you get disability too. Like, bro, they definitely. I was already told that they do that stuff when you get disability, bro. I swear to God, I was already told that. I was already told that, especially you know you young. I'm pretty sure, especially then too. Especially then, like it's supposed to be something. It's kind of beneficial to them. They think you gonna mess up and slip up off the street and stuff like that. Another thing you want to do is stay out of relationships, bro. Cause they'll send you that. Another thing you want to do is stay out of relationships. They'll send you that how you spend all of your money. That how you spend all of your money on that. I'm done with that. Like I'm done with that until I can. But they do that stuff on purpose, bro. Like they do it on purpose. But yeah, that's why they don't target criminals. That's exactly why they don't target criminals, bro. Like they do, you know. It's exactly why they don't target criminals. They are already on the path that they want us on, that we will never be on. A path we will never be on, bro. This technology is just. That's why they don't want them to know about it. They don't want these criminals to know about that technology. And then they try to act good by putting this technology on the news, but no criminal is watching the news. That's how they try to act good. That's the answer of them trying to act good. That's how they act good. They'll put the technology that catch the crazy technology that catch criminals on TV. They'll put it on the news. They won't put it anywhere else. Why isn't there repetitive signs up outside? Like, bro, that's actually a threat. That's a threat. When I say stuff like that, it's a threat. Bro, I will stop. I will get all of this stuff stopped. Cause they love it, bro. It's crazy how the system, Judge Joe Brown said it. It's crazy how the system loves, bro. They love arresting people, bro. Why don't y'all tell them about their technology? Why it ain't put on the street? All it takes is one. All it takes is a few words. All it takes is like 10 words. One sign, 10 words. I guarantee you, it's amazing technology on the street. Don't do any crimes. You will be caught, whether you got a hoodie on or not. You got a mask on or not, you will be caught. Don't do crime. Why isn't that stuff out there? That's a threat, bro. That's a threat. That's a threat, bro. To stop. That's to stop everything. Because the system don't work unless you do what you do. Like the system said, like Judge Joe Brown said, the system don't work unless you do what you do. In Judge Joe Brown words, so it's just like, bro, that can stop all of that stuff. All that little extra funding, extremely extra funding they getting off of arresting people, bro. All that extreme extra funding they're getting off of arresting people, bro. Them bonds that be like $500 to over $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Like this, like that could stop all of that. That could stop all of that. And I know this video. I go back and forth like off topic and stuff like that, but it's just sad when you can literally see what they're doing. Like, bro, I'm down to the point of, bro, hold on, I'm all the way into it. Why they put that stuff on the news when they know criminals don't watch the news? And why aren't there billboards and signs pretty much everywhere that says, hey, we have advanced technology that catches criminals, so don't do anything? Do you not know how much stuff that would stop? And they just put the signs everywhere, in every city, every street. Do you not know how much that can stop? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that you can really. It's crazy how you can really see it. I'd be like, wow, like I can really see that. Like it's crazy. It ain't even seeing. Like, bro, that's the honest truth. That's the honest truth. But I'm pretty sure I heard people say this, but the police will go crazy if people stop committing crimes, bro. Don't you know that? They'll go fucking insane. Like they would go insane, bro. Like they would go insane. I'm talking about like insane. They would go insane, bro. Like insane. They would go insane if people stop committing crimes. You not know, like, not only the money, but they got a vendetta with regular people. They have a vendetta with regular citizens, bro. They don't only want money, bro. They want people off the street. They don't only want money. Why you think it's citizens informants, bro? Arresting people that don't do anything. Investigating people that don't do anything. Harassing people that don't do anything. Why you think this? Why you think it's like that? They put hella much effort in that stuff, bro. It's crazy. They got a real vendetta with people in society naturally. So you have to understand that type of stuff. Like you gotta understand that type of stuff for real. But yeah, that's why criminals don't get targeted. That's why criminals don't get targeted, because they're headed in that direction already. So when y'all asking that question in y'all videos, why they don't target criminals, why they don't target these type of people, why they don't target these gangsters, all this type of stuff. When y'all asking them type of questions, understand why they don't do it. Them people already headed down they headed down the wrong road already. They already headed down the wrong road. So it's like they just let them do them, because they eventually gonna get arrested anyway. Because that's what they do. Like it's so funny. Like it's honestly wild, bro. Like that's honestly wild. Like it's honestly wild. But they got a vendetta with society. This is why I tell y'all to just apply logistics to every part of life, bro. Police got a vendetta with regular people, bro. They love doing that. They be smiling. They be smiling to their ears when they arrest somebody, bro. They love doing that. But if they was putting this technology out there, it'll stop. They wouldn't even, no, not the technology, but just put signs everywhere on the street. Y'all want crime to stop so bad. What they say on the news, they're lying, bro. Straight up. they're lying. Like they be so happy to. They be too geek. I'm talking about just too like messed up. Like they be just they're happy to just do that. They happy to do that stuff. They be happy to do that stuff for real. Like they be happy. I'm telling you, like for real. But that's why they don't target them. If y'all want me to keep going, y'all gotta comment. Y'all gotta make comments. Y'all gotta keep commenting. Y'all gotta keep commenting, ask questions and comment, anything. But I'm gonna keep going on this live stream for now. I guess I can go back to some of my posts because this one wasn't really that much about gang stalking, but I keep going back to the. At least I keep going back to the subject, right? At least I keep going back to that subject. So I'm gonna go back to um, these live streams. I mean, my posts to see what else I posted about this stuff. I just be ranting all day in my post. I just be ranting all day. But I post on my post to have a reference to come back to when I get on live stream. Oh, I have another topic I can talk about that I'm not going to actually make a full video on, but this is about energy weapons. I don't know if I touched on this in the last video that I made, but this is about that's not perp thing. It's really me burping. But this is about how V2K and these direct energy weapons, how they can mimic how the thought of surveillance can mimic the effects of an energy weapon. The thought of surveillance can mimic the effects of an energy weapon. You know, I think I said that in my last live stream. I think so. I think I did, but yeah, the thought of surveillance can mimic the effects of an energy weapon. Even though these energy weapons have been documented, this is not something I really, even though they're documented, I don't really believe in them. But I know they're real. They're documented weapons. I also want to say that V2K um, can can be done off of the things that you see. Things that you see can be mimicked. Can mimic being tortured by V2K. They hacking your phone is going to send certain messages in your mind. Personally, I've never thought that I've been V2K. Like I never thought that, but yeah, like energy weapons definitely can mimic the effects of an energy weapon, definitely. And I never really cared about those. Like I never really. That's not nothing. That's not a subject I really spoke on much. I never really cared about those. Yeah, I never really cared about those. So that's not really a subject I spoke on much. Yeah, since y'all not commenting, I mean, I want to keep this live going. I guess I'm gonna have to focus on making longer posts and things that I could just keep talking about myself. I know y'all don't want to comment every time, right? So I'll just focus on um, just posting stuff that I can just continue to read on for hours and hours. You know, like I'm just trying to, bring logistics back into things. I've been targeted since 2018. And I really just seen the effects. I've been binge watching since 2018. I really just seen the effects that what it was doing to people. I really just seen the effects of what it was doing to people, and I just came up with logistics, like the simple logistics of how everybody can't be watching you in your house. And it only can be through letter agencies sending notifications of what you do or say in your house, and put a whole script. That really takes away most of the fun of it, but it gets you back in your groove, so you'll know, like, hey, these people ain't got no personal problems with me. Um, oh, okay, I see more comments. Okay, cool. Most of them are paid actors. A lot of a lot of the ones that I follow, that a lot of the ones that follow me look like tweakers. Uh, yeah, yeah, some of them tweakers, but them tweakers be like, I don't know, like tweakers be like, I be thinking they're either paid actors or they're like, I think they're paid actors or they're like, let me see, or just like, just tweakers, like drug addicts, like, so that's the stuff I write off as coincidence. But yeah, that happens too, bro. Like that happens too. Like that happens too. That happens too. So what's your opinion on dealing with perps? Do you mean perps on the street, or do you mean like perps on YouTube, or perps like where at? I mean perps anywhere. I would say just completely ignore, because it's like they're not doing that. Just like no one's tracking you around for no reason. They're being compensated. They're not tracking you around for no reason. They're being compensated. They're being compensated. They're being compensated. Whether that's to throw you off, because once you get into this gang stalking mindset and you get into the right mindset afterwards, you understand what's going on. Like life just should be good for you. Life just should be good for you then, because it's like, I mean, not really good. Gang stalking don't stop. Like, it's relentless, but, and I mean relentless, but gang stalking don't stop. But life should just be kind of good for you. Like, once you realize who's doing it, it's like, oh, okay, like, oh, it's them. Like, it's these three little agencies that's dispatching these people. That's part of these groups. They're dispatching them, bro. Someone's dispatching them. They're not doing that on their own. My whole thing was, I'm like, are these people doing this stuff on their own? Like, do they have a personal problem? Like, nah, bro, they're being dispatched. So it's just like once you learn like what this stuff is, it's like it's pretty much ignorable. You should really feel like empowered. You should feel extremely empowered once you realize, like, oh, they were being dispatched to do that. You should feel real empowered once you realize that. Let me see. He said, okay, so in Shark Targeted said most of them are paid actors. A lot of the ones that follow me look like tweakers. And after that, he said, and vets. Yeah, yeah, that's possible. That's possible. I'm a vet myself, so I kind of like stayed away. I kind of like stay away from even, thinking it's them. I don't really see them much. I don't really, and I mean, I don't look at them as they're targeting me. I just, hey, that's just what that is. But the regular people, like, they do that all day. It's like I used to get to the point to where, until I stopped caring, I used to get to the point to where I don't want to hear any conversation. Before I got to a job, I used to be like, I wonder if I can wear headphones all day. I don't want to hear nobody else's conversation because all of the indirect conversation is being done on purpose. That is one of the most detrimental things in the world. That is so detrimental. That is so detrimental. It's so detrimental. Directed and indirected conversations are so detrimental, and they be so like they be wicked with minds. Like my targeting be crazy, but it's like I be so calm because I know why they're doing it, and I know who's trying to make them do it. They have a goal. Their goal is robbing me. You know, their goal is robbing me. So once I knew that, it's just like, oh, it's a reason that you're doing it. It makes sense. Like it makes sense, and like I said, just being a person that is targeted is a disability check in itself. Once you realize that, it's like, what else is there to do? I'm not buying no more material. I'm not buying no more materialism. I'm finna until I can. I'm finna get to it. These people, they sending people everywhere. They sending people everywhere to target me. I'm finna get to it. That's the mindset you should have. Like there's pros and cons to everything. And being the target is one. But you gotta understand how to do it. You gotta understand. Like I no longer plan to I no longer plan to pay rent anymore. I'm going from shelter. I'm going from veteran shelter to veteran shelter all over the country, and there's plenty. I'm not paying rent until I have a close to six figures. That's my plan. That's my plan. So yeah, that's just what that is. Like, and then I'm probably not even gonna do it then. I'm probably, you know, I'm finna be doing some, yeah, I'm definitely not finna be in materialism again though. But I'm finna be doing what I want to do. That's dating whoever you got money. You date whoever you want to. You do your thing with whoever you want to. Like so that's what I'm finna do. Like that's what it's for. So that's just what that is. But I stress to stay away from dating right now unless you got funds in a good amount because they're going to drain that out. They try to drain that out. They try to drain that out. They try to drain that out bad. Yeah, they try to drain that out bad. But he say facts. I wear earbuds at a lot, especially at work. Yep, you got to. You got to. Like it's. I mean, well, you don't have to, but it's just like crazy, crazy. Like it's insane the amount of indirect. Because they trying to push you off the job. That's what they be trying to do, and it's sad. Like, why are you doing that? Why are they doing that? Like, it's so annoying. Like, it's like, why don't you just let me be? Just chill. Like, stop. Like they try to push you off the job. Like, that should be crazy. It'd be crazy. And every job, I just sit there and ignore, 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 ignore. No respond, don't respond, and ignore. I ignore. Ignore because you're the prize. If you don't understand that, they are targeting you. They're targeting us. We're the prize. So you have to understand that. You have to think like that. You know what I'm saying? We're the prize. They're trying to destroy us, and we're just regular civilians. Just normal civilians, unknown, which is a blessing. It's not a blessing to be known. I talk about that in every video. But we're the prize. We're the prize. They target us. Working retail jobs is the worst job for TI. Yes, it is. It is. Retail, fast food, any of that stuff. I guess it's the same thing or something like that. But any of that stuff, any of that stuff, any of that stuff, it's a bad job. I was working at a dishwashing. I was working at dishwashing. I'm talking about everybody there. They was hiring new people to to cause like make me feel weird and you know, people that claim they already work there pop up like 2 weeks later, like, oh yeah, I already work here. I'm like, and they probably already do work there, but they they're you know, they part of that little informant group. They're part of those 3 little agencies group. You know, so it's just like that's just what it is. I don't mean to do that on here, but my bad. That's just what that is. That's just what that is. Like, you know, but you have to understand that stuff. Like they'll try to like they try to kick you off the job, not kick you off the job. They try to run you off the job with directed conversations, indirected conversations, all of that. They do that at every job that I have been to. Almost every job. Well, yeah, every job. Every job. I stayed in like a small town. I'm not even gonna mention that one. I'm not gonna mention that one. I'm not gonna mention that one. I want to mention it bad, but yeah, that's not what made me. Yeah, I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, it's like the insult. It's like they'll throw little insults at you, and it won't even make you leave the job. But they'll start just doing too much, like the indirect conversations. And the bad thing is that we sensitize to that. We sensitize to you know directing conversations. We sensitize to every situation. I mean, every conversation that we hear, we're listening to. We listening for trigger words, all of that. But yeah, most of those conversations be on purpose. Some of them you gotta write off as coincidence. Sometimes you gotta non-verbally let somebody know that non-verbally, non-physically, you gotta let somebody know that you know what they doing. You gotta let somebody know that you know what they doing. Like, you know, I know what they doing. You know, I don't know if they really catch on to that because they don't even catch on to they retarded, they stupid. So they don't even catch on to they don't even catch on to like that, you know, unless you actually say something. Like they don't catch on there because they're receiving a script. They don't even know why they're doing it. They don't know the psychological effect. They don't know the psychological harm they're doing. So you know, I believe that's what I would believe. You know, 'cause even if you let them know, you know, I think I've tried to in some type of way. But yeah, they don't understand. They think that I guess they believe that we stupid or something. So I guess that you gotta like I guess that you just gotta like just ignore it, you know? I guess you gotta ignore that type of stuff. Cause working retail, I mean, I would do it now. I would work retail now because I've learned that all of them are informants. Like you thought you was working for, they thought they was working for a certain organization, whatever it may be. It may be something that sound cool. They thought they was working for that, but no, they're informants. So I learned to just ignore things, not even be mentally affected. Once I realized that, it's just like, ah, okay, cool. You know, like I'm never finna hop off of here, bro. Like that's over with. You know, I'm never getting off of YouTube. Not talking about this stuff. Like I said, I was dealing with a lot of sexual relationships when I got off of here from 3 months or like 2 months that I was off of here, like not posting, but I was dealing with a lot of sexual relationships. I had moved from Iowa to Missouri to Ohio, and like I was just when I got out here, I was dealing with a lot. Even in Missouri, like even in Kansas City, I was dealing with a lot of you know different sexual relationships. I don't know if they're sending them. It seems like because it's out of nowhere. You know, it's out of nowhere. Like so, it seems like it, but like I was dealing with that a lot. So I got off of here for a few months. But yeah, I'm not doing that again. Like, I'm not getting off of YouTube no more. Like that's over with. I don't have to stress what I don't want to do. I obviously don't want anything that the world wants. So I'm on YouTube. I put my face on here. Put my face on here. You'll never see me on TV. I don't know why people want to do that. That is there's pros and cons to that. It's like selling your soul, but in layman terms, that's giving away your rights as a citizen. You trying to be on TV as a as anybody that's trying to be known or something like that. That's giving away your rights as a citizen. Now you can't go in Walmart no more without a picture for the rest of your life. You can't go in Walmart no more without a picture, without somebody asking for a picture. You can't go anywhere. Like that's the pro and con of being trying to be somebody that's a public figure, somebody that's known. I don't know I'm off topic, but I get on this topic every time because it's like, you know, it's amazing to not want what everybody else wants. But when you can explain it in that way, like, yeah, no one has noticed that selling your soul is basically giving away your rights as a citizen. People don't think about the time they'll never be able to go back to Walmart again and shop peacefully, unknown. People don't think about that. People don't think about that. I would. I don't want all the benefits they have. You know, I'd rather just stay regular. And people gain the world and lose their soul. Gain the world and lose their soul. You know, and it's like that. It's crazy. Like they gain the world, they lose their soul. Gain the world, they gain the world, they lose their soul. Can't go in Walmart. Let me see. What's a rapper I can say? Say Tupac. If Tupac was still here, bro, he can't walk in no Walmart. You know what I'm saying? He'll never be able to walk into Walmart. He'll never be able to walk in Walmart peacefully. You know what I'm saying? Without just like, come on, like who want to live like that? Who wants to live like that? I don't want to live like that. In exchange, I want to be able to walk Walmart and get the looks naturally, like get the girls looking at me naturally that's in the Walmart or the Kroger or the Publix or anything, anywhere I'm at. I want them looking at me naturally. I want it to be natural. That stuff happens. Like it be like that for real too. Like that happen like that. Like I want that naturally. I don't want that just like people like you know what I'm saying. Gain the world, lose your soul. That's really like that. I wouldn't even want to stand around them people. They security guard get stopped for they get security guard get stopped for pictures when they go in Walmart. Like so it's sad, but you got the whole world chasing that stuff, and that's just so beneficial for me in my mind. Like the whole world chasing that is crazy, and they won't get there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just crazy. Like because the whole world chasing that. It's like the whole world chasing that, and it's like that ain't even something good to do. They going to go buy nice shoes and clothes and stuff like that, and just to take a picture, just to do a music video, trying to get somewhere that's not okay. But yeah, that's off topic. That's real off topic. I'm not getting no more comments, so um, I guess I'm gonna start focusing on um, I'll start focusing on topics that's going to keep me going on here instead of the comments. Topics is gonna keep me going. Like I just have a super long paragraph and just be going through going through just the little topics in the thing, like in whatever paragraph that I have, so it just keep me going without the comments. So I'm not getting that many comments. Y'all don't join the live or nothing like that. That's okay. I get on here for y'all. Like this for y'all. I get on here for y'all, bro. To help y'all, because it's sickening to me to see um the psychological effects, and I've been through those same psychological effects, not being able to hold my tongue in my privacy because I believe citizens are surveilling me when it's not, when they're not. When it's really just through the agencies. I've been through those things. Walking down the street thinking that the street's bugged. The street's got a microphone and everybody listening. And I'm talking because of that. Right, stuff like that. So I get on here to explain to y'all the logistics of that stuff because I've been through that for like around 4 years. I've been targeted. That stopped like not too long ago. I realized not too long ago that hey, that was an act. Those citizens acting like they watching me, like the Truman Show. That was an act, and that act was for to get me to go crazy, talk to myself in privacy, like I say in all my videos. Um, extract embarrassing information and stuff like that. And that's what that type of stuff is for. You know, it's for you to have an imaginary friend, for you to have an imaginary friend, an imaginary audience. When it's really just eyes and ears that don't matter that are listening and watching you. Those three little agencies. But I'm out of here. I love all y'all, and I'll be back live. I'll probably give it a break tomorrow. Um, but yeah, I'll give it a break tomorrow. So unless I feel like getting on live, I'll give it a break tomorrow. I give it a break tomorrow so I can put together stuff to where y'all don't have to comment to keep me going on my live stream. I'll put together stuff to where y'all don't have to comment, and I just have our live streams just going on and on and on. But yeah, I'll be probably back live Wednesday. Um, but yeah, I'm out of here. Peace. Love y'all for real. Like I said in the last video, we are going through the persecution of Christ. You know, if you was evil or something. Whenever if you was evil, if you did something wrong. All of that stuff, right? So you shouldn't be going through this. And you on here, yeah, you shouldn't be going through this stuff. So that's why they target criminals. That's why they don't target criminals. Yeah, that's why they don't target criminals. They don't target criminals because criminals live that lifestyle and they will eventually end up where they want them to be, which is either gone or in a cell. That's why they don't target criminals. Simple explanation that everybody had that answer. They kept asking that question. That answer is so simple. You just got to get logic, get logistics, understand who's doing this stuff. But peace out. Love y'all. Y'all stay blessed and stay out the way.